So when it comes to the feedback tools, the main goal that all of them have in common is that I want my students, I would implement one of these tools because I want to have my students to learn by getting feedback, by receiving feedback. If I want myself, the teacher, to give feedback to my students, I would have to pick either of these two, so the skill review or assignment review. The difference between the two is that the assignment review, the one that we're going to see, allow teachers to give feedback to students on a deliverable, so a submitted piece of work, while on skills allows teachers to give feedback to students, for example, on an oral exam, let's say. The criteria are very similar. You will see that the rubrics will look the same, but then the purpose is a little bit different. The same applies to the peer review and group member evaluation. The difference from the two first tools is that in this case, is peers giving feedback to each other, whether on a submitted work for the peer review or on skills/performance for a group member evaluation. Also, we have two additional tools. The automated feedback utilizes artificial intelligence to give feedback to students on a written deliverable, because as of now, we only support written documents for the automated feedback. And this tool allows students to have their paper checked on lower order type of mistakes, such as spelling, grammar, abbreviation, references. It basically highlights those pieces of text that are problematic in some way. So where the AI thinks students made a quote-unquote mistake, you have the possibility to set all the criteria and to decide what the AI is going to check. And this is just going to highlight the mistake for the students. Since this automated feedback is a module that can be included to the assignment review or the peer review, I decided to include it in the demo activity for the assignment review. So you can also see it. It can be used as a standalone tool or can be a module in those tools that allow students to receive feedback on a submitted work, just so you know. And lastly, we have the self-assessment tools. There are two tools, the self-assessment of skills and self-assessment of work. Sorry, that is becoming harder to pronounce it. But these tools basically provide students to give themselves feedback, whether on their performance on their submitted work, and we see it used mainly for group work, so students can discuss their group performance, their own group performance as a whole group, so not giving feedback to each other as individuals within the group, but rather discussing what they did as a whole. And these metrics that I've included here allows you to have even more details regarding the division I showed you before. So this is basically a reflection of what we've just seen, but I find this visualization easier to comprehend, to distinguish the various tools, because as of now, I imagine they're a little bit of a mouthful. You might not differentiate them yet when it comes to the names. But you see right here that if you read this matrix, you have on the top tools that allow peers to give feedback to peers. If you look on the left, on submitted work, feedback given by peers to peers, we have the peer review. While if it's feedback given on skills, so there's no handing step, we have the group member evaluation. And the mirror version of this, but with the instructor giving feedback, would be the assignment review and the skill review. If you intend to create a centralized page in the Snow College Canvas environment, for example, with some information about feedback fruits, I think that including this type of visualization would help teachers picking which tool is more right for their use case.